Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming. Some of you on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Tate's Path, Lust Shards. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Alrighty. You know, Kusani, I'm glad you came home. Your arrival here with Kavathi in hands brought not only hope, but joy to us all. And all it took was a bit of kidnapping. And for that I apologize. I didn't even know where you were, or if you were alive. Don't worry, I'm over it. Blessed be your secluded tribe. Your friend seems to be getting along pretty well with my other son and his partner. Yeah. Perhaps well enough that he decides to settle here with them in the future. That way he can be closer to you as well. His exotic fur caught the eye of a lot of your tribe mates. Yeah, wait. Here with them? Me? Well, you're staying here with us, aren't you? We're a family, and I thought you made up your mind about your destiny here. I have another family as well. I'm not abandoning them, I can't. Didn't you say they disappeared one day? Yeah, but they'll come back. It's not like they're dead or anything, I just don't know where they are. Besides, I can teleport. I'll definitely do so to visit both you and Kavathi. I see. What was that about Travis? What was what? You don't think he'll want to stay, do you? He's a city boy. He won't fit in. You're the one that refused to wear our traditional clothing, correct? I guess he does like it here, huh? I look at the laughing leopard getting his face stuffed by two lovely Nightfallen. And them. Back to you. To you. To me. To you, then. To me. Everyone was ravenous, either from hard work or dancing, or because they forgot to eat all day, but even after we all filled our bellies, the table still remains rich. Yes, this is what I call a feast. Some wild furs got up and started telling stories and recalling battles past. Others decided to nap under the huge shaded trees as an order. Some became very touchy and decided to get into a hut together, either in pairs or in groups. I gotta get rid of that lust after a good meal, am I right? As for me, I have questions. So many questions. The first and most important being, where the fuck are you, Scribbles? Ah! What? Is the world ending? No, but my patience is. Where were you all this time? Why, missed me? A little, yeah. Oh. Well, I was just watching some of these movies in your mind. A little hard to find something other than porn around here, but I managed. Especially like The Firm, and it's this comedy about a group of people working at a firm and selling paper and... I know the one, it's in my mind after all. What else do you want? How come you didn't show up for so long? My mind feels like it will explode with lust. Everybody here is so sex-driven. You can't imagine all the sex jokes and inappropriate touching we did today. So, nothing new. You would usually jump at the first opportunity to call me a slut or be sarcastic. We just found out my friend was adopted as a baby by these Nightfallen, and his real name is Kusani. Isn't that interesting? Ew, family drama. I thought your whole point of taking over my body was to experience new and interesting things. Hey, Travis, what am I? Huh? What species? Demon? Right. So do you honestly believe that in my centuries of living as a literal Nightfallen, I never experienced a wild fur celebration before? That I've never set foot in a camp like this? I've been in more orgies with freaks like these than I can remember. And people claiming they were raised or even birthed by Nightfallen are not new either. To me, this is as exciting as it is for you to watch paint dry. How you explain it, I can give you a pass, although you could have done with less attitude. Excuse me, Your Majesty. For the record, I do take a peek sometimes, so I know a lot of things that happen in the real world. I have to say, these are some very tame wild furs. Explain. I mean, they're usually friendly, but not this friendly to strangers. We're not strangers, we rescued their god or whatever, plus one of us is their chief's adoptive son. Yeah, and I bet they really want his son to stay. What are you saying? I'm saying that you're gonna lose your boyfriend to these Nightfallen. What? No, he would never just leave the academy. Why not? He said it before. Nobody gives a real shit about him there. He seems like he'd fit in nicely. But in the end, it's his choice, right? You wouldn't want to take that away from him. Right. In the end, I don't care what you do. Take my advice or don't. I'll go back to my show. Call for me if you need me, but do it quietly, please. Scribbles is an old demon, old enough to know a thing or two. But as he said, it's his choice to stay or not. It's not like I can force him to keep away, especially since his wyvern friend will stay here for sure. These Nightfallen aren't that bad, right? I mean, just because I don't like what they're trying to do doesn't mean it's wrong. Ah, Scribbles just popped in, made me question my new and old friends, and dipped out without another word. The definition of an evil demon. It's time I find out more about these mysterious, intricate, hot night fallen. It'll be a good distraction for Ragnar and Eureka as well, since judging by those bedroom eyes, they look like they were going to jump at each other the fuck right here and fuck right here on my lap. Do you guys want to play a little game? Absolutely! Hopefully not one that involves running right after a meal. Nah, just a question game. I realize I have many questions unanswered still, about you two as individuals, but of this place as a whole. And you can ask things about me and my kind in return. Lovely. I did actually have some things I wanted to ask, but didn't know how. I'd love to help you learn more about us. Hit it. Okay, I'll go first. What do I want to know? Naming, culture, and masks? So, I noticed that only some of you wear masks. Ah, the masks. Ragnar, do you remember your first mask? Clear as day. All those feathers kept making me flick my ears. I don't know how I lived like that. And mine was just a simple dough. I got lucky. So, why? Ah, right. Here's how we do it. Second, y'all. Water time. Alright, guys and gals, and we are back. Let's jump right back into it, shall we? The chief chooses an animal, object, or shape that represents us when we start training in whatever field we'll be working in. Hunting, carpentry, sewing, that kind of stuff. The mask is placed on with magic that only the chief possesses, so that you can't remove it. So, Ruth has regular eyes under the dark mask? Yes, Ruth is at level 2. Level 2? You only need to wear a mask over your eyes at level 2. That is for those who are close to getting their names. What about the chief? Why is he wearing a mask? Does he not have a name? He does, but it is forbidden to be used or known by just anyone. As for the mask, just tradition that the chief wears one for the rest of his life. Don't ask how he sees through that thing, it's a mystery. Oh, well, there goes my next question. Speaking of names, how do you get those? I think you mentioned that you sometimes name each other? Names are not given, they are won. I named Eureka. He gave me his heart and I gave him a name. Mine, for example, was chosen by my father, meaning warrior in our tongue. And he named me when we became partners, as mentioned. Because when I met you, I knew I had found a priceless treasure. Aw, you. Aw, that is so sweet. Did you also get the idea from our tongue? Yes, while traveling your lands, I came across this word. I love the sound of it, and when I found out what it meant, I knew I had to save it for my special someone. I'd be melting with cuteness if they weren't squeezing me to death trying to nuzzle each other. What about Ruth? What does that mean? It's from your tongue again. His full name is Ruthless, but we call him Ruth until he takes his mask off. What did he do to win a name like that? It's a bit ironic. He solves all conflicts with kindness in the camp. Ruthless would never hurt a fly, so the chief wanted to have some fun. It is pretty funny, I admit. Is that the only reason? Well, another reason would be that he has to do whatever the chief tells him to do with no questions. That's why he must remain ruthless. But my father never even had him gut a fish before, so his innocence is in good hands. It just turned slightly scary. Our turn. Shoot your shot. How's the sex culture at the academy? This town specifically? Yes, we heard you're way more open about that than regular folk. Still, we had to make sure not to make you uncomfortable with our public displays, just in case. I'd say we're kind of like you in a way. Except that we're not allowed to be naked in public or have sex in public. Your ways are more personal, so that's why you're shy. Yeah, more personal. Interesting. What do I want to know about? Ragnar. Questions for Ragnar. Starting off simple, what's with the tattoo? These ones on my chest? Yeah. It's the 2 moons in the sky. Moonlight is the source of magic for all demons. Nighttime is when they're most powerful, and it's theorized the same for dragons as well. I just wanted to pay my respects by having this symbol imprinted upon me. And fur tattoos are hot. He's the second reason I decided to get it. One of your kind made it, actually. About that, tell me more about those adventures of yours. Where to even begin? As you might know, in our tribe, names have to be won. No. Usually somebody would win a name by doing something grand or unique. In my case, I decided to be adventurous. Which was very extra and very rude of you. Why's that? Well... because he was gone for 124 moons? 12 years. Wow. In my defense, I brought home spices for these delicious meals, made connections with your kind, and also accumulated a lot of knowledge. A whole new tongue for the whole tribe. It's the only reason we can communicate with Travis right now. Whole language in 8 years? That's pretty good. You two and the Chief are very fluent, even when it comes to slang. Eureka is a smart one. I learned it in only 2, alongside math, which is knowledge I brought with me as well. You're welcome. In truth, I really am grateful by how much Ragnar helped the tribe, even if he left me alone for so long. Ironically, your whole adventure culminated to a single point. Isn't that how you got your name? It is, and I'm proud of it. I slayed a huge wyvern with my bare hands. You can see its front teeth in the main camp, on top of a watchtower. I think I did. I was wondering what animal in Nightfall was so big to have those bones. You truly are a warrior. You're gonna make me blush. Now, what about your scars, Ragnar? How did you get them? Ah, the symbols of my victories. I'm ashamed that I don't have more. A good warrior doesn't need many scars. That's true. I never got injured fighting beasts or savage furs. So how... These were made not that long ago, actually. A rogue wild fur from our tribe went behind the chief's back, so I had to fight him to the death. Fortunately for him, he escaped, but not before we gave each other some nasty scars. Too bad. He was a good tribe mate up until that point. That sounds a bit too gruesome for a table discussion, so I'll drop the subject. If you're done with your story, may I address the next question? Be my guest. What is your relationship with Kusani? You're not partners, are you? I think they used the word boyfriend over there. We use both. I mean, not that we are either. You're just friends? Yep, just friends. You did mention that in the chief's hut. I forgot. We're both totally virgins, too. Why did I say that? Oh my. Oh my. Eureka covers his mouth in shock. That is new information. You weren't kidding when you said you're shy. See? Just how many moons of that sex is that? Too many, dear. Too many. Let's move on to the next one. What do I want to know about? Eureka! Eureka, how come you're so dressed? It's like, no. Everyone else has some clothing covering their junk at most. Looking at you, Ragnar. I'll let you know that your kind love the way I dressed. Yeah, because you're hot. I wear more layers so that everybody knows I'm not easy access. Oh, what does that mean? Never mind, I know actually sex things. Exactly. I'm too busy all the time just to have a go whenever, so I dress more proper. Especially because of all the jobs I do. I need something to protect my fur. Speaking of, why so many jobs in the first place? I just feel embarrassed. As we mentioned before, I'm not good with repeated breeding. I'm not a good warrior or hunter, but I love my tribe, and I want to be of help. So I want to be as useful as possible with the jobs that I'm best at. Which is a lot of them. With your brains, who needs muscle? Although, you're still way stronger than me. Thank you, you're very kind. May I give you the next question? Yeah, let's hear it. Considering you don't live in a tribe, what work will you do in the future? What is or will be your job within your society? That is a pretty deep question about my future. The answer is obvious, Nightfall and Hunter, but do I want to tell the literal Nightfall in that? Quickly, what's the closest thing to a Nightfall and Hunter? A hooker! Really, Brain? Ah, noble profession. You will bring a lot of use to your kind. Way more than me, that's for sure. I don't know about that one. We should go to the next one. Yeah, the lizard. I noticed a lizard in your camp. An eyesore, isn't it? We're sorry you had to see him. He's... No, not at all. I'm fine with him. I was just wondering, why is a savage fur here? Why, he's doing the tedious jobs we don't have time to do. What else? No, I mean, why do you own a slave? You've been in our society, Ragnar. Don't you think that's wrong? Huh. I've never had someone of your kind react poorly to this information before. They would either slap my palm in agreement or not care. I also thought your kind doesn't like... What do you call the violent ones? Savage furs. Well, we do hate them, but I'll drop the question for now. Children. Actually, I'm gonna pause it right there, y'all. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout-out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silverman. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to our gold tier patron, Tresem Guy. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our Not Safe for Work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!